Welcome to Hurd Lumber Company, a third-generation sawmill in tiny Acton, Maine, located near the Maine-New Hampshire border. Hurd agreed to mill our pine logs. Here's Tim Chick of Chick Forest Products in Gorham, Maine, as he unloads and sorts the pine logs, ensuring that all the butt ends, or bottom portions of the logs, are aligned along the same side. Carl Hurd, one of the three Hurd brothers who own and operate the sawmill, loads our pine logs onto a conveyor to begin the milling process. A series of mechanical arms and rollers move the logs into position for debarking. Carl continually adjusts the position of the debarker on the log. All the bark is captured underneath on a series of conveyor belts and moved onto a storage pile outside the building. After debarking, another set of mechanical arms toss the skinless logs onto a queue for cutting. Other mechanical arms have positioned the next log onto an 18-foot-long cross-cut sled. The sled then moves the secured log through a giant 50-inch diameter fixed saw blade that will cut the logs into dimension lumber.
Okay, so what do you see on this one that where you're going to start cutting?
I'm going to make a 6x6 log. So I just want to skin it enough to get a board.
Get one flat side.
Now flip it over and get my 6. Well, I got to get enough base on that so when I put it on my third side I can get 6 inch out.
Frank Hurd operates the saw. He must judge the quality of each log and then rotate the log accordingly before making the first pass through the saw. He wants to get the best quality lumber out of each log.
The computer doesn't tell you where the first cut is.
As boards come off the saw, Seneca, a longtime employee at the mill, places them on an edging machine for cutting to width. A laser shines on the board, showing left and right cut lines on the board. Toggle switches on a control panel adjust the width of cut to preset sizes, for example, a 1x6 or a 1x8. Seneca selects the maximum usable width, aligns the board with the laser light to get the best quality cut, then pushes the board through the saw. And here's Mark Hurd moving the offcuts and wood scraps onto a conveyor belt below the table, while the boards continue up a conveyor to be cut to length. offcuts go through a chipper and are then dumped onto a large moving metal sieve. The sieve separates the sawdust from properly sized wood chips, while oversized chips are returned to the chipper for reprocessing. There is zero waste. The sawdust is sold for animal bedding, the tree bark for plant bedding, and the chips are sent to a paper mill for processing into paper. After the milling operation was completed, a very large pile of random width and random length lumber was brought out to the yard. I spent some 4 hours sticking the pile, which means placing wooden spacers between each layer of lumber. Frank Hurd is seen here taking one load of stickered lumber off for storage. There it is, about 2,000 board feet of lumber and some posts for timber framing. We will let this lumber dry the old-fashioned way, leaving it uncovered outside where the stickered pile will air dry. The lumber should be ready to use by next spring for finishing the interior of our 3-season room.